Our next question also comes from the Quest Academy 4th grade Mustang class. And this student asks, what's the difference between an adverb and a helping verb? Now, I love this question. I love this question because adverbs can be confusing for students, especially when they encounter the term for the first time, but it also demonstrates a capacity to notice words and similarities between words. For instance, here we have the word adverb and the phrase helping verb. And as you can hear or as you can see, both of these have the word verb in them, either as a separate part or as the part of a larger word. And so one might become curious. Are these similar things? Are these different things? If they are different things, how are they different? So let's take a quick look at these two terms. And let's start with helping verb. A helping verb is simply a verb that, as the name suggests, helps another verb to do its job. Another name for a helping verb is auxiliary verb, which is the term that Marie uses in the Basic Cozy Grammar course. So let me give you a couple examples. So here we have 3 examples of helping verbs. In the first, we have the verb phrase in the sentence, I am speaking. Here, am speaking is a verb phrase, and it also has 2 kinds of verbs. It has a principal verb, the action speaking, and then it has a verb that helps it to do its work, which is am. Right now, the dog outside my cozy writing yurt is trying to help out too. The dog is also saying, I am speaking. I am speaking a dog language, but I'm hoping somebody will hear me. So here we have a helping verb, am, helping the principal verb, speaking. Here's another example. We have, I have studied. Here, have studied is the verb phrase. Studied is the principal verb. And the helping verb in this case is have. I have studied. Have helps the verb studied to do his work. And sometimes we even have cases where we have more than one helping verb. Take a look at this example. We have been exploring English together. Here, have and been are both verbs. And our main verb, or our principal verb, is, of course, exploring. So here we have some examples of helping verbs. Now, there we have helping verbs. What about adverb? Is an adverb a kind of verb? Well, in this case, no. An adverb is a word that describes how a verb or an adjective or another adverb is doing what it does. And in fact, we can use the presence of the word verb in the term adverb to help remind us that adverbs tell us how an action, how another verb is doing its job. So I'm going to give you those same sentences, but this time I'm going to add an adverb. So here we have those same 3 sentences, but this time I have added an adverb to each one of them. So for example, in the first sentence, I am speaking, I added a word which tells me how I am speaking. I am speaking how? I am speaking loudly. A little while ago, when the dog outside my cozy writing yurt was speaking, they were also speaking loudly. So here the adverb loudly tells us how the action was done. Here's another example. Remember our sentence, I have studied? Here I can add the adverb intently to describe how I have studied, to modify, if you will, the verb phrase have studied. I have studied how? I have studied intently. And here's our third sentence. We have been exploring English together, and it's really a privilege and a pleasure to be able to explore English with you. And if I wanted to say that, I could use an adverb, in this case, the adverb joyfully. we have been exploring English together joyfully. How have we been exploring English together? We've been exploring English together joyfully. Here, the adverb joyfully tells us how we're doing our activity. And I hope that these examples give you a clearer idea about the difference between helping verbs, which help other verbs to do their job, and adverbs, which describe how a verb is doing its job. And as you continue in your study of adverbs, you'll also see that adverbs can also describe adjectives and other adverbs. But if you remember the first use to describe how an action is done, you will have the strongest foundation for remembering what an adverb is. Thank you again for your question, and if you have any further or follow-up questions, don't hesitate to write.